Oh, hey, I was just thinking about what Devon Achane and Tyreek Hill were going to do in Week 17 because they are off the injury report and playing Week 17. Not only that, we've got more news to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. We got super chats to go through. We've got phone calls to take. We got Jacobs likely out, Zamir White season. Zamir White season's here. It's here. 3 weeks in a row. T-Law out. Ridley questionable to play at this point. Not him questionable. He's a questionable play at this point. Keenan Allen out. We got a whole lot to go over here. The fantasy football show, ladies and gentlemen, begins right now. Punch the thumb up button. Let's go.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
First of all, I owe Space Ricky an apology. I continuously said today and yesterday all the mods' names, and I just kept leaving Space Ricky out. He's the first in the building today. Even though I disrespected him by not even saying his name, he's the first in the building today. Space Ricky to Saturn.
To Saturn.
Appreciate you, Space Ricky. Thank you for being here, and appreciate your service all the time. I apologize on that. If I miss a mod ever, and my brain is scrambled, like scrambled eggs sometimes. And I do my best to remember everything, but I don't, and that's on me, Space Ricky. This man, Tyreek Hill, ladies and gentlemen, is off the injury report, and I can pull up that piece of news right here and put thy news on screen. That's a different piece of news. Jamar Chase is questionable. If anybody's like, what the hell do I do here? I don't think you count on Jamar Chase. Maybe there's a possibility something takes some kind of weird twist and turn. But at this stage in the game, I think it's a little bit crazy to expect Jamar Chase to play in week number 17. So I would expect him to be out. Let me see if I can get this Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane news on my system, because for some reason it's not loading. Let me drop this on screen for you right here. Tyreek Hill been removed from the injury report. I'll show you the report right now. Don't take my word for it, although you should. But here it is. Tyreek Hill removed from the Week 17 injury report. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, there's no concern. Do I think he's probably 100%? I do not. That's why injury reports in some ways are kind of laughable. We always want to hear this or that. It makes us feel better to know he's been removed from the injury report. And to be fair, do I think Devon Achane is playing at 100% capacity? No, I don't. I think both these guys are banged up. But guess what? Everybody is banged up. Everybody. This is week 17. Everybody's injured. Everybody's injured. And everybody's playing hurt. This entire offensive line sits out during walkthroughs. And I'm not concerned at all about what's going to take place and transpire between these two gentlemen, Devon Achane and Tyreek Hill. And I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, we're going to sit Achane. We're going to sit Achane." What's the Underdog pick'em called? Lucas, you're going to hit Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. The link's in the live chat. I'm going to pin it right this very second. You're just going to click Pick'em. It'll be at the bottom. You sign up. They'll double your first deposit up to $100 by using the link that I'm pinning in the live chat right this second. The link that's in the description of every single video. And code Smitty essentially does the exact same thing. That link has been pinned. And if you hit that link, broski, they'll double your first deposit. You put 10 down, they'll double it. They'll give you $10. You'll have 20 to go. And you just hit Pick'em. There's drafts and Pick'em. There's two basic sections on the app. And last night we said, go ahead and do the multiplier. They're giving you extra incentive to drop it on the touchdown. Any touchdown rushing receiving on Jerome Ford. And we said, give it to me. Give it to me, please. Because Jerome Ford, this is the two calls from last night. Anybody didn't cash in on this, I can't help you. because we sat this right on screen from the beginning of the live stream. An hour and a half before kickoff, you had time to click the link that's pinned in the live chat. Use code Smitty. Double your first deposit up to $100 over at Underdog, which is the best place to do pick'em and drafts, if you ask me. And then on top of that, this sat on screen for an hour and a half. Jerome Ford, 1.25 multiplier. All he had to do is score a receiving or rushing touchdown. How many did he deliver? 2. Where was the 4.25 times multiplier on 2 touchdowns? Because I would have smashed that. Breece Hall, 1.5 times multiplier. These are called scorchers on a touchdown. How many did he have? We were hoping he was going to have 2. He had 2 the prior week. This guy's an absolute monster. Where's Breece Hall go in 2024 drafts? So I can't wait. Unbelievable. And Ford single-handedly won some leagues for people. Tyreek Hill off the injury report. Fire him up. Dude's going to probably be the wide receiver 1 or 2 this week. Don't even hesitate to throw him into your number 1 wide receiver lineup. No one's even questioning playing him. But I just wanted to put people at ease. He's ready to go. Devon Achane, you use your discretion. You're sitting on a Swift, and you're like, I like Swift more. Fire him up. Do what you feel's right. I'm not here to convince anybody to throw Achane into their lineup and have them come back and complain and gripe and moan about a high-risk, high-reward play. Because that's what he is. And is the usage guaranteed? Not really. But with Waddle out, this man's probably catching a bunch of passes. I would imagine he gets 7-8 targets at the minimum. I can't guarantee it. But I have a feeling Devon Achane is going to be quite solid in this game. And if he isn't, he isn't. You've got to have your team prepped and ready to carry somebody that doesn't deliver. And let's just say that this guy comes out and doesn't do anything. Maybe gets you 5-6 points. Am I off the Devon Achane train? Let me save you some time. I still fully believe in this guy's talent. I still fully believe in this guy's future. I think it's a weird situation right now in terms of the volume, but I think it's going to come around. It's a high-risk, high-reward play. You do what you feel is right. Waddle's out. It feels right to me. I'm going to fire up Devon Achane, quite honestly. Bring it back, boys. Bring it back, boys. Lower it. Lower it. Steady, steady, ready, stop. There we go, boys. Appreciate that. Fire them up. Do it live. Do it live. Okay. There's that. We'll get that out of the way. Smitty, what are you talking about, Achane? Haters gonna come rolling in. Let them hate. Let them do whatever they want. I really don't care. I really care less. Is there, Smitty? How do you feel about Achane now? Really don't care what you have to say at this point. Just to be honest with you, you're a whole different type of person. This Achane hater, just a completely different off the rocker person. Jamar Chase shoulder is questionable for Week 17. Keep an eye on this, but expect him not to be a go. We talked about these before these three before or on the last show, the emergency show we had before this show. Jacobs is doubtful. Expect to be without Jacobs. He is definitely not somebody you should be counting on because he's not playing. And that means that Zamir White is going where? Where?
To the moon.
To the moon. To the moon. Zamir White to the moon. 3 straight games of Zamir White. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. We've talked about him on the waiver wire shows pretty much the entire season. He's kind of been lingering there waiting. He's a guy to monitor. And what did I tell you the entire offseason? That this man would sit out the final 3-4 games of the season because he's worried about his contract. Partly you can't blame him, but this was pretty easy to predict. This is pretty, as we sat in here, people said, Smitty's the rushing leader. He'll be fine. Over 400 touches. There's no injury concern. He's not going to wear down. He'll be okay. Jimmy G will be serviceable. No, Jimmy G was garbage. The offense has been garbage. Now, granted, I said don't draft Adams, don't draft Jacobs. I will admit that at a point, and I still believe Adams is worth his weight in terms of what you traded for him. He still is a crafty go get buy low. He hasn't quite delivered the buy low value that we wanted, but he's been a buy low. No one told you to draft Devontae Adams. I told you not to. Nobody told you to draft Jacobs. I told you not to. And I said Jacobs would miss the last 3 or 4 weeks. Here we are. Here we are. And I think he's looking out for his long-term value because he's an RB. His shelf life is short, and he doesn't want to go out and tear an ACL and have zero value because he's already going to struggle as it is off of this season to come out and get like $7-8 million a year. So Jacobs is out, essentially. Keenan Allen is out. Chargers are going to be cheeks. I don't know what to make of. Let me get rid of this music. What are we doing here with this music still? I still got the silly music going. What are we doing? There we go. I don't know why I still had that going. How you going to take my news seriously when I'm playing the goofy music still? I didn't even notice. Keenan Allen is out. I don't know what to make of Eckler. I truly don't. I think you start him as a flex. It's really hard to sit him, but it depends what you got. You got Zamir White and potentially Zamir White and Eckler. Maybe you do put in Zamir White. Trevor Lawrence is out. That downgrades Ridley. It downgrades ETN. It downgrades Ingram. It downgrades everybody. And I don't really trust a single Jaguar at this point. We've got more news to go over. I'll swing on over to this sec. I think I've got more news over on this front. No, we'll go back to this one. I think I got to drag each of them on the screen. Somehow they vanished again. That happens to me. Deebo Samuel is off the injury report. Don't worry about Deebo Samuel, this moon man extraordinaire, a guy that's single-handedly helping people win championships. He's been remarkable this year. Moon man extraordinaire. Nico Collins, the counterpart to our moon man Tank Dell, who delivered all year long. Tank Dell was an absolute monster. Where are we drafting Tank Dell in 2024? Is he a second rounder? Is he a third rounder? Where do you got Tank Dell? Put Tank Dell in what draft pick? 204, 205, 3.1. Whatever you had, put Tank Dell in a prediction on his draft capital for next year. Nico Collins removed from the injury report. This guy could have an elite wide receiver 3 week this week. So don't be afraid at all to put Nico into your lineup because guess what? Stroud is back and Stroud and Nico do work. Purdy removed from the injury report. This is going to be an interesting game. I think he probably does pretty well. I'm not going to lie. I don't fully know what to expect. I don't think anybody does. But the fact that he's removed from the injury report's good. I don't think he's fully healthy because he was removed from the injury report and still got hurt with the stinger injury again. So how could he be 100%? He's not. This right here is DK Metcalf. Questionable. This got upgraded. So DK's no longer questionable. He is expected to play. There's no question about him playing. He's still banged up, but he is expected to play. Kenneth Walker, illness and shoulder, questionable for week 17. We got to monitor that. That's not a for sure that he's going to give it a go. Jacobs, we already talked about. Trevor Lawrence, we already talked about. Alvin Kamara is questionable with an illness. There's an illness going around big time. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is some sort of, pandemic. We'll find out, but everybody's got this illness. It's crazy. Keenan Allen is out. We talked about that. Christian Watson, don't expect to see him. He is doubtful for week 17. So Watson, another disappointing day. That guy is definitely, under-delivered in 2023. But it'll be interesting what his value looks like walking into the upcoming season. But that's the news pretty much for today. Tyreek Hill, Achane, off the injury report. Jacobs, doubtful, not going to play. T-Law out, Keenan Allen out, Debo's good, Purdy's good, Nico's good, Kenneth Walker's questionable, very questionable, Alvin Kamara is still very questionable, Jamar Chase very questionable, and that kind of sums up everything in a nutshell. So we're going to get to these super chats. We'll open the phone lines. Mr. T with the first super chat of the evening.
You've just been...
You haven't been Smitty disapproved. I'm sorry, Mr. T. I'm hitting wrong buttons here. Full PPR. Pick the odd man out. Devonta Smith, Higgins, Rice, Gibbs, Bijan, Henry. Bro. I guess I'd probably say... Chat, which one are you putting on the bench? This is a tough one. I mean, I kind of lean toward maybe Bijan. I don't know. I'm gonna wait on the chat vote on this one. I need help with this one. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm not sure yet. Let's get some groupthink on this one. Which player does Mr. T sit? Devonta Smith, Higgins, Rice, Gibbs, Bijan, or Henry? I mean, I love Bijan, but like he does feel like the most volatile player. Him or Henry, I guess. But Zamir White or Mixon? Mixon's probably a tad safer. But White's got a tad more upside, just a little more risk. You kind of got to, James, pick your poison on that one. I don't think there's a real legit answer there either. I guess I would lean, I suppose, Mixon, but I like Zamir White a lot. I'd say because the offense is a little limited in Las Vegas, that's why I do that. Happy New Year, Flex 1 in PPR, Mixon, Zeke, or DJ Moore. DJ Moore is banged up. Zeke, obviously doing well. Henry's the odd man out. Bijan, Henry. Henry's the guy that everybody's voting to rule out of your decision, Mr. T. I would go with the consensus. Space Ricky, my monster moderator that I don't give enough credit to. I'm sorry, Space Ricky. I don't know why I zone out on saying your name. You're an awesome moderator, bro. I appreciate you. I hope you know that. I did the same thing with Sick Nasty the other day because I get zoned out. I'm sorry. Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, Travis Rowe, you're here all the time. And Blackbeard's here. Sometimes he doesn't always type, but he's here. And Vampy also is the same way. Vampy's amazing. And Terry Roberts has been MIA, but that's okay because we love Terry Roberts. He can go MIA all he wants. Happy New Year, one flex in PPR. I'm going Mixon here. Even though DJ Moore's banged up, if he wasn't so banged up, I'd consider, pick two non-PPR, Kamara, Walker, Pollard, Zamir. I'd say Kamara and Zamir are your safest calls. Walker and Kamara are fine too, but Chad, if anybody disagrees there, I'm going to go with that, but that's close. Trust your gut. I'm almost forcing an answer with some of these. Full PPR league, Nico or Ayuk. I probably go, look, Ayuk is hard to sit, man. I'm going to go Ayuk, but Nico could be wide receiver 1 overall, or he could be 15. It's such a tough one. I guess I'd say give me Ayuk. He just feels steadier, for championship week. Smitty start to Monty, Zamir White, or Achane. I'm going Achane and probably Monty for safety, Achane and White for a big swing. Actually, you could say Monty and Zamir White for safety, and then Achane and one of them for the big swing. Which one? Monty would give you the combination of safety and big swing. Achane and White would give you the biggest swing of it all, but the biggest risk of it all. So Jaime, I wish there was a good answer here. There's not. What would I do? I guess I'd go Achane and Monty just because of the offenses, but that's a tough call. And quite honestly, I want you to bring that back to me tomorrow night because I'm gonna waver like hell on that one. Likely Everett or Waller, I'm going to go likely. Feels like the likely high score, but you never know. Tyler with a $5 full PPR start, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Achane, Aaron Jones, Walker, Zamir, Connor, Chase. If he plays, I don't think he does, but if he did, of course. Also, which defense? I'm going to go probably... probably the Bears for upside, Ravens for steady Eddie. So if you need upside. As far as the 2 running backs in a flex, I'm going to go Zamir and Achane and probably Connor or Walker. Achane will... Like, you're safe. I don't know what your safe play is. Aaron Jones not safe. He's got high upside, high risk. Walker's not safe. High upside, high risk. Zamir White, limitations in the offense, but high upside and good volume. Connor, solid. I'd say Connor, Achane, Zamir is your safest trio. But if anybody disagrees, drop it in the chat for Tyler. Just say, hey, Tyler, this is what I would do. Start Zamir or Calvin Ridley. Zamir. Not even a hesitation. You've got no Trevor Lawrence. No, thank you. No, thank you. Mr. T, appreciate you. Everybody voted Henry. I don't blame them. I'm okay with that. There's some risk in counting on Arthur Smith, but I love Bijan, and I don't mind taking that ride one more time. Until the offseason, and hopefully Arthur Smith is fired. Zamir White, Devontae Adams, or Tony Pollard. I'd go Zamir White and Devontae Adams, but it's hard to sit Pollard, but especially with Dowdle out, but I just don't know how they're going to use him. God, Pollard could go nuts or he could do nothing. It's so hard to know. It really is. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
By the way, Perps just gifted 50 exclusive memberships. 50 exclusive memberships, people. If you got a gifted membership from Saturn Man, known as Perps, please thank him. This is going to be going on. Look at all these super chats that are going to be flying in here. This man Perps is an absolute menace, a monster. Look at this. We're going to have this going for about 10 minutes. JK just became a member. Let's see one of the other 50 people that are going to become YouTube members based on Perps gifting that. Appreciate you. I mean, they're just going to come flying in. Look at this. I'm going to have to turn this off. J-Dog, what an amazing man Perpy is. Give Perps your round of applause. Thank you, Perps. All right, I'm sorry. The phone lines. I forgot about the phone lines. Sebastian, you're here. Hang tight, Sebastian. 401 caller. Who is this 401 caller? What is your name and where are you calling from, 401?
My name's Chris,
Shane
and I'm
Hadley
calling from Rhode Island.
Colorado.
Well, hold on, Shane. Not you. I'm sorry. The other guy? What was your name?
My name's Chris, and I'm calling out of Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. So so Chris from Rhode Island, how did Shane, do you have the same area code?
970 is Colorado.
Okay, so when I said the Rhode Island area code, you're like, yeah, this is Shane from Colorado.
I'm sorry, man. I got too excited to hear your voice again, brother.
Okay, hang tight, Shane. Chris from Rhode Island, you are live.
All right. Hi, Smitty. I'm just. I need a little bit of help on my lineup this week.
Okay.
So, my lineup right now, I have Stroud. I had Flacco. I'm in a 2 QB league. So, I have Stroud. Flacco went off yesterday, obviously.
Attaboy.
I got Tyron, Bijan, Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed, Gerald Everett, Breece Hall. He went off yesterday as well. I have the Rams and Keami Fairburn. That's who I have in my lineup right now. But on my bench, I have Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jeudy, Jaron Hall, Quentin Johnson, and Zamir White.
Okay, so White's your only good player, by the way. I mean, that I'm considering doing anything with. Okay, so what's your dilemma? White versus who?
White versus Bijan, and then Jaden Reed or Calvin Ridley.
Jaden Reed. I don't trust Ridley without T-Law, to be honest. Anything can happen, but give me Jaden Reed. Make sure he's good to go. And Zamir White and Bijan, I mean, bro, that's a tough call. Chat, vote on Bijan or Zamir White. I don't know. I mean, they both have tremendous upside. They both have tremendous ability to do nothing if their offenses don't allow for it. I would venture to say that White's safer, Bijan's higher risk, higher reward, and there's no real good answer I can give you that makes you feel like this is exactly what I'd do. I'd literally just be sitting there and wavering over
because
it.
my other running back that I have in my lineup is Kyron Williams, who's basically my lock.
Of course he is. But there really is no. The only you don't have a lineup dilemma necessarily on the whole thing. I mean, you gave me your whole team. It's okay, but all this doesn't matter. It's Bijan or White. It's Jaden Reed versus Ridley. I'm going Reed, but let's see what everybody says here. White feels safer. White's coach isn't an idiot, says Noodles. Zamir. Bijan based on talent. So you got like a couple Bijan votes, but majority are Zamir White. Everybody's pretty much.
The problem that I have with White over Bijan is Bijan's been doing pretty well, but he also has Arthur Smith.
I mean, hence why it's a dilemma.
Zamir White, the last game that he actually played full, he did really well.
I mean, we know all this, Chris. That's it. Hence the dilemma, bro. Like, I know.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh, man, what do I do?
Thanks for the recap, Chris. I really do think that the chat has it nailed. It is 100% safer to go Zamir. It's higher risk, higher reward to go Bijan. And to be honest with you, I'm just I know you want me to. I don't always have an answer. I want people to understand that that's a human nature. That's human nature. That's a human being. That's a real response. I would waver on this question all the way to kickoff. The chat. The only thing I can give you when I feel that way is the chat vote, and the chat overwhelmingly to a degree said Zamir. I'm not saying I agree with it. I would waver until kickoff. I would literally waver until kickoff. I there's nothing I can give you other than that. Maybe ask me tomorrow night.
All right, I appreciate it, Smitty.
Oh who plays? Hold on. Let me get the schedule up. I'm blanking out on.
They both play at 1.
Yeah. I don't remember what the time they kick off on that. Okay. Let me pull the schedule up just so I have this in front of me because I'm going to forget who kicks off at what time if I don't have it in front of me. All right, Chris. Appreciate you, bro. Call in anytime.
All right. Thanks, Smitty.
Yeah. Chat, hang tight real quickly. Let me get some of these super chats out of the way. I don't want to make my super chatters wait. So phone line, please mute if you could and hang tight for me while I tend to these real quickly, and then I will swing back around and help everybody. So 1 second. Just everybody please mute. Don't pretend to mute, like actually mute. I have some people that think, oh no, I'm quiet, and I hear stuff. There's like constant, and sometimes it's just reverb. It's not even you making sounds more than it's just some sort of reverb into the phone. Okay, so let me put this on screen here. This is the schedule. I think it'll make it easier for everybody to even just see it in case people don't have it memorized. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of the questions I have to look at it because I forget who's at home sometimes. Michael, appreciate you. I'm looking at like 8 different weeks at once sometimes. I'm still like based on next week. I'm doing things in the system. The Detroit-Dallas game, obviously keep in mind if anybody's got, Pollard or no one's sitting Lamb, no one's sitting Dak, no one's sitting, maybe you got Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard, or Monty, or maybe Goff questions. No one should be sitting Laporta. No one's sitting Gibbs. No one's sitting St. Brown. These are all locks, everybody. All right, let me get these super chats here out of the way. This one right here, did I get to this one? Full PPR, Jalen Warren, Zamir White, or Clyde. I'm going to go Zamir White. Really easy. And probably Raiders over Denver. You never know. That's not that easy of a question, but I'd say Raiders. I think they've been pretty good, bro. I'd probably roll with them. Asking this question again. Need 2 running backs and a flex. Achane, Pollard, Zamir, Kenny Walker, Pickens, Noah Brown. What do you think? I'm going to go with Achane and Zamir White, and it comes down to Pickens and Walker for me, and I kind of lean toward Pickens if it's PPR, full PPR. If it's half PPR or non-PPR, then I'm probably going to go in the direction of Walker. I love Walker. He's phenomenal. Part of me wants to say Walker. Anthony, to be real with you, I would probably still waver on the Pickens and Walker all the way up to kickoff. But I feel very confident. And Pollard. I think I'd consider Pollard too. With Dowdle out, I think I'd monitor the news heavily. Make sure I didn't hear anything that indicated he's going to get a lot of work or something, But I think, I think I probably. It's so tough, bro. It's not an easy one. I think at the end of the day, at this current moment in time right now, if I had to make a decision, get on an airplane and land on Tuesday, and I could touch my lineup, look at, fire up the internet, nothing, I would say Achane, Zamir, Pickens, and close the laptop and take off. But that it could waver, bro. I want Walker in there so bad. And if anybody disagrees, throw your reasoning out. And on the phone line, when I open the phone line up here in a second, if you want to argue one of those, please do. I want to hear the arguments because I'm on the fence. Again, Zamir White on this question. Thank you, pal, for your super chat. This one from OKG. My other running backs are JT and Bijan. My other wide receivers are Tyreek and Kupp. So my flex is between Adams, White, or Pollard. I'd probably go White. I'd probably go Zamir White. He's been doing it. I think the volume is there. Adams is great, but he's relying on a passing attack that didn't throw for over 100 yards last week. Whereas, I think they're going to potentially, get Zamir work no matter what. My daughter says hi. What's up, Thomas? Appreciate you. Tell Rinley what's up and to the moon.
To the moon.
Okay. Let's see here. Thank you, Thomas, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Superhero, your advice has helped me reach another championship game. I need your blessings so I can take home this $500K. Wish me luck. Okay, let's go over to the Your team will win this week in week 17. And every time I've done this, you've taken home a championship. So go do your work. I want you to slap yourself so you remember your oath and go do work. Don't waver. Start your studs. Don't get cute. And bring home the championship, pal. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you, Superhero, for dropping your usual super chat. Congrats. TP31, are we high on Achane? I know we're high on Achane, but pick 3. Rashad, lock. Diggs, JT, Achane. Bro. Diggs is no safer than Achane. Let's just put that out there, okay? Rashad White's a lock. JT, probably a lock. His matchup is good too. So this does come down to the 2 most volatile players, Diggs and Achane. I do think Diggs is going to have a day. That said, I would probably roll with Achane. I think he's going to get a lot of work. Diggs, we don't know what's going to happen, but you wouldn't be crazy to go Rashad, Diggs, and JT, put Achane on the bench because of what you've seen the last couple weeks. But that's the same kind of thinking. People had Gibbs on their bench walking back into Gibbs's explosion because he had literally 3 bad games in a row. People started wavering on Gibbs. It was crazy. You know, Laporta had 1 bad week last week. People asking me, should I sit Laporta for blah, blah, blah? Like, no, you don't sit Laporta. He's the number 1 tight end in football at this point, moving forward. So you do what you feel is right, TP31. What I would do, though, is waver up until kickoff. But I think I'd probably, and you're not crazy to go Diggs, Achane, and Rashad White, but I just think JT feels pretty safe. And I think they give him a lot of work. It is a decent matchup, too, for some run. So I think the run game at home will be good for JT. I'd probably go JT. So JT, Achane, Rashad White for me. It's hard to sit Diggs. I want you to start Diggs. I wish there was a way that you could come back and say, I could do this, and I'm like, do it. Like, I want Diggs in there, but Diggs has done nothing. Also, Kyler Stroud. I'd probably lean Stroud by a hair. I don't know if I'm alone on that one. All right, I'm going to get to these 3 super chats after I go through a few phone calls. The super chats are pretty caught up. These just came in, so I don't think you guys will mind waiting a minute, please. And let me hit this phone line, and then I'll circle back. So on the phone, I have, let's see here. If everybody stay muted, I heard a couple people on mute. Wait till I go to you before you unmute, if you could. Sebastian from Cali, you're first up. You're live. Let's go.
Hey, Smitty. I need some help in the flex play. Some context is I probably have the best overall roster on my team, and I have Jalen Hurts as my quarterback, and I'm against CMC, Kamara, Kupp, and Mahomes. Should I put Devonta Smith in the flex and stack him with Hurts, or should I start Zamir White?
I'd start Smith personally, and it doesn't matter so much. You could strategically say this might be better if I did this or if he's got this guy, but at the end of the day, it really just comes down to if all things are equal, you might look at that. But Devonta Smith has been pretty fire, man. Zamir's pretty solid. Is this full PPR?
Yeah.
I
have Hurts at quarterback too, so I get 11 points if it's between both of them per touchdown.
Really? Well, then of course, this is yeah. You get extra points if they score together. You get extra points if they score together.
Oh no, I'm talking about PPR Devonta 6.
Oh, you're just no. I don't care about what look. You start the player that's going to score more points. That's the whole objective. And I think Devonta Smith in PPR scores more points. This isn't best ball. You don't have to stack. Stacking gets you no advantage. It's just, it's fun. But Devonta Smith, in my mind, in PPR is going to probably score more points, but they're both excellent plays. Excellent plays. Either one could outscore the other. This is not an easy question. It's 50-50 to the definition.
Oh, what about McBride too? I forgot about him. I actually started Njoku over him, so I have that option too.
Well, nice job. I mean, great job getting the points. Those are a tough decision. I probably would have, just being honest, I probably would have went McBride barely because of the matchup and just thought, okay, so great job on that. I don't think I start McBride over Devonta Smith, but it's close. I mean, McBride's that good. He really could get 95 yards and 4 receptions and shot at a touchdown, so he certainly could be as good, but I'd go Devonta Smith.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ride this team, and I'm not going to look at it until that early window passes, but I appreciate your help through the season.
All right, man. Hey, and real quickly, does the chat disagree? Smith or Zamir White or McBride? Please vote for Sebastian. Zamir White, Devonta Smith, McBride. Who are you starting out of those guys? All right, later, Sebastian. Appreciate you. Next caller is Shane from Colorado.
Hello, my favorite fantasy prognosticator. You're the best, man.
Thank you.
So this is Shane, and I've been doing the. You've been helping me all the way with this guillotine or guillotine. I don't know how the heck to say
Guillotine.
it. Last
Guillotine.
night, my opponent. There you go, guillotine league. Last night, my opponent jumped in really quick. He grabbed the Cleveland defense, and of course, he got Njoku, or the tight end for Cleveland. I thought I was gonna be, I thought I was gonna be down like 80 points already, but luckily he cooled off.
Say quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
I just figured you'd say quesadilla.
Quesadilla. I got nervous. I know how to say Njoku, I promise.
Quesadilla. Hey, Ma! Can we get a quesadilla up in here, please? With the meatloaf? Thank you. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. What's the question?
I already feel better already.
Okay,
so,
good.
yeah, man, you got me here. So I have the choice of the entire NFL now except for Cleveland for my defense, and I have the choice of the entire tight end pool except for Njoku. And I'm thinking right now San Francisco versus Washington because they're going to be pretty angry, or Denver versus the Chargers because Chargers are just terrible, but Denver's let me down. They're my local team, and every time I play them, they seem to mess me over. And then Kelsey, I'm thinking, because the Bengals are like the 31st worst team against the tight ends, but he's let me down. And then my last question is I can have either Debo or I can have Cooper Kupp for my final receiver. Thank you so much, my friend. You're the best. You tell everybody about you.
I appreciate you. San Francisco, Debo, and what was the other question? San Francisco, Debo. Those are my two answers.
And of all the tight ends, I can pick any tight end in the league. Right now I have Kelsey, but except for Njoku, Quesadilla, I have any tight end I can pick. And I'm thinking Kelsey.
I'd probably say, God, do we go guys, if we got the whole tight end pool aside from Njoku, do we go I don't think we go Kelsey because, well, I do think he's going to have that game. I really do think he will. Do we go Laporta?
Yeah, I guess.
Do we go Laporta because he's the number one tight end? Do we go... What's the chat think? And somebody in here wants you to answer the question. Which one is correct? Let's see if we can get... Which side is correct? Bougainvillea or Bougainvillea?
Or the guillotine or the guillotine.
No, is it Bougainvillea or Bougainvillea? I'm asking for a friend.
I don't know. It's both. And while I have you, I might as well ask the kicker question. I can have any kicker in the entire league except he already has Miami's kicker. Should I go with the highest over/under? Should I pick the Detroit or the Dallas kicker?
I'm gonna leave that one to you in your scoring format, bro. Every kicking scoring format is just a little different sometimes, and to be honest with you, it's a crapshoot. It's not that I don't like predicting kickers. It's not that I'm not good at it. It's just when people, it's not an easy game to play. It's who's scoring the most in your format, and roll with that average, bro. Yeah. We're 16 weeks in, and there's a nice little average going. Kicking is like fantasy baseball. You start getting an average going, go with the average. So look up your scoring and roll with the top guy that's probably 10, 15 points above everybody else in that specific format. As far as everybody saying Laporta all the way, Laporta, I just think you roll with Laporta. He's the best tight end in football. And that's just the way it is. Doesn't matter the matchup.
Right on.
I don't care. Dallas is a tough matchup, but like Laporta's gonna do well. I do like Kelsey. If for any reason you just felt like you wanted to go balls to the wall, Kelsey, I wouldn't blame you. But I think I would go Laporta if it was me.
I got you, man. And you would. I'm gonna call back again after this is all said and done, and let you know. Hopefully, I'm counting my $1,000, brother. Thank you so much.
Hey, what do you put beans on when you make a burrito?
I put them on my tortilla.
There you go. I think you're good to go. I think you just go put Laporta in your lineup and go win. Appreciate you, Shane. We'll see you later, pal.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Bye.
I don't think he was just nervous. That was it. I think we ruled that out. The guy's got everything straight. He got every question pretty much right. Is Jacob from Colorado? Is he gone yet?
I'm here.
Okay, you're live, bro. I'm sorry about the wait.
I got 3 RBs. Start 2. Derrick Henry, Singletary, or Ty Chandler.
Derrick Henry, Singletary, or Ty Chandler. God, bro. That one's kind of tough. It's like at this point, it's like, does Henry have one more game in him? I don't think anyone's going to draft him next year anywhere near an expectation level of a running back 1, but does he have one more game left? I love Singletary, though. I think he's going to have a big game.
And Ty Chandler's dealing with that new rookie quarterback. So
yeah. That could be good for him. They run a lot. It could be bad for him. I think he's probably not. I like him, but I don't know if he's in this category right here. I'd probably just say you go Henry. But I mean, if there's any news that Henry's going to be like dialed back in this game, let me just poke around and see what I'm reading on Henry just to make sure, because that would be my only concern is like what happens in the middle of this game. I don't think they take him out or anything, but like, let's see here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm putting him in.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, he's averaging a crap. He averaged a crap yards per carry 2 of the last 3 weeks, but the 2 weeks prior to that, 4.2, 4.8, and then last week 4.6, and his touchdowns are insane. Like he hadn't done much all year long. Like really did very little all year long. He had 4 touchdowns on the year walking into week number 12. And then the last 5 games, he's had 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns in back-to-back games. 0 touchdowns, but he threw one. I forget what game that was. Yeah, last week and then he had a rushing rushing touchdown, and then that throwing one. Man, I mean, he's been on a tear. I'd probably just go Henry.
And last one, would you rather have between the two? Would it be Singletary or James Conner?
Probably Singletary, but it's a high risk play. You want safety, go Conner. Conner's really steady. I like Conner a lot. These are both good plays. I don't think either way you pick, I don't think you should feel like nervous because they're both good plays. Conner's got it's a tough matchup though against Philly on paper, and coming off of 14 carries, 12 carries, it's not like he's getting overfed. He had 25 carries before the bye week, so his last 4 games, his carries are 6, that's horrible, 25, amazing, 14, mediocre, 12 against Chicago, a very solid run matchup, not very great carry-wise. So you don't really know what he's going to get. Philly's a tough matchup. You said Singletary?
Yeah.
Singletary's been on fire. The matchups, it's okay. It's not great or bad, but there's a lot of people talking about, like, will Tennessee play every one of their starters? And he's had 13, 26, and 9 carries, so not amazing. 26 was great, but obviously he's not like 100% locked into like 10 plus carries. You don't know, but targets 3, 5, and 3. and he's had 2 games with 49 and 19 yards back-to-back receiving, 4 receptions, 3 receptions. I mean, the volume is there, and that's all without C.J. Stroud. That's against Tennessee, and that Tennessee game is the one where he had 126 yards rushing, 4 catches for 49 yards. So, ironically and weirdly, the Titans were their Week 15 matchup, the Texans. Then they played Tennessee. Now they play. Or I'm sorry, Tennessee was their Week 15 matchup. Then they just played Week 16 against the Browns, and then now they play Tennessee again. So Tennessee was his great matchup, 121 yards. It was a semi-tough matchup on paper, but he blew it up. So I think the fact that he tore up Tennessee 2 weeks ago, Stroud's back, and he seems to have a handle on a majority of the work. I really like him this week.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. He's high risk. He's high risk, high reward. All right, bro. Appreciate you. That's a tough one though. Michael, you're live. Then I'm getting to these super chats from Swizz, Anthony. Appreciate you, Anthony. Thank you guys for dropping these. I got Swizz, Anthony, Kendall, TP, and Johnny. I'm coming for your super chats, and then there might be another one under there. Michael, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year. What's up, man?
Yeah. So I've been stashing running backs like crazy because I'm going against the guy that's got quite a few questionable running backs. I was like, I'm going to grab all these guys. So I just want to see how they stack up because they're all startable. I got Swift, Taylor, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Zamir White, Chandler, Gibbs, Achane, and Charbonnet.
Okay, I didn't write all this down, but you said Gibbs, Achane.
I got Gibbs, Achane,
Swift,
Taylor.
Okay.
And then I got Zamir White, Charbonnet. I guess Walker might not go. And then I got CEH.
So your best 3, in my opinion, are Gibbs, JT, and Achane.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards right now.
I like Zamir White. I like Swift. Those are awesome options, but like you have rich person problems. You know, it's like when you pull up Google Maps and it gives you 3 directions. You can go this way, this way, or this way. They're all 19-minute trips. Like I don't know.
Right.
That's who I would pick if it was me. I don't think I'd waver too much either. I might be wrong on it, but that's what I would roll with and lock in. But that's me. If you don't like Achane and you're not in the Achane camp, and you don't have to, I won't get mad as long as you're not an Achane hater, like in here spewing hate toward it. You're just a disagreeer. That's fine. And if you let's say you wanted Achane thrown out, Smitty, give me a non-Achane answer. I'd tell you probably Zamir White.
Okay.
But I would go Achane.
Yeah. Cool. What about I got Eagles D and Raiders D. Do you have an opinion on that?
Tough call. I'd probably go. I mean, the Raiders D's been playing really good. I'd probably go Eagles. I think this team like Buffalo is in this zone of like needing to get fine tuned, and they're taking it out on everybody. So I think that's what's going to happen. But it's a tough call, bro. Very, very close. Consensus data on it would suggest, I think, if I looked at that, and sometimes that's not a bad way to lean when you're just torn and you've been looking at it too much and you have no idea anymore and you're like, I can't see straight. Philadelphia is like 7, 8, 9 ranked territory. And your other team was who? Raiders? Raiders are right around 17, 18, 19. So Eagles are top 10. Raiders are like 18. That's consensus data. Who's starting who across the industry. Doesn't mean it's right. It just means that you ask the audience, just like we do, that's the answer we're getting from the industry. And it's kind of powerful data, when you're on the fence.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's just I see. I mean, and Minshew is. It's hard to say what Minshew's going to do against the Raiders, really. So.
Yeah. All right. Hey, appreciate you, Michael. Call back if you got another one, bro.
Will do. Thanks.
All right, later. We got a hundo super chat by Perps. What are we doing here, Perps? What are we doing?
Alert. Alert. We
have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
Unreal. Chat, let's get Smitty above 50% at the minimum for likes. Perps doesn't like what he's seeing. 262 and only 82 thumbs up. We can do better. Smitty's the best in the business. No one's better. Thank you. Appreciate you, Perps. I'm going to keep this little note in the corner because you're an absolute monster. And Blackbeard using his membership, 18-month membership celebration to say the same thing. 265, 82 likes. Hit that thumb up button. Both these guys are being selfless. Just super chatting, using messages to try and create a little buzz for some thumbs up. Thank you, Blackbeard. Appreciate you. Hang tight, phone callers. I got G2 Real next, then Jake from Tampa. Hang tight. The only way to get Diggs in is sit Puka. I'm not sitting Puka Nakua, so I probably would sit Diggs, but it's a very, very tough call. It's between those two that we had talked about earlier. $10 super chat. Appreciate my $10 hauler from Johnny Cause. Appreciate you. Johnny says Zamir White, Zeus, Achane or Monty. I'm going probably Achane. If you don't like Achane, if you're nervous about Achane, Zamir White and Monty are both kind of an equal part safe. High upside, kind of. Zamir White's got high upside. He just has, he has a limiting offense, but if they're up, if the defense is controlling it, the game flow, then he's a good play. I go Achane, but that's me. Stroud or Murray? Give me Stroud, to be honest with you. I'm leaning Stroud. Likely or McBride? McBride. You can't sit McBride. I like Likely a lot, but Anthony, Smitty, I need 2 for my question, not 3. Let's see here. Anthony needs 2 from his question, not 3. Achane and Zamir. In PPR, I don't hate Pickens if you want to get a wide receiver in there. I'd go Zamir and Achane personally, but Anthony, you got to trust your gut. And chat, please vote on Anthony's question here. Pick 2 from this group right here. I need your help. Anthony's here all the time. He needs your help, and I'm asking for a favor. Vote for this man's question. Let's give him better advice than just from me. Let's give him community feedback here. So, everybody's got his back here. Vote for 2 players, okay? Need 2 running backs and a flex, though, is what you said. Anthony, you said, I need 2 on my question, not 3. You said, need 2 running back, 2 and a flex. I think you just mean you need a running back, 2 and a flex. You said you need 2 running back. 2 running back 2s. I don't know. That's what it looked like. So please pick 2. A running back and a flex from Achane, Pollard, Zamir, Walker, Pickens. Please give the man your vote. I'm saying Achane and Zamir. Final answer. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you. Swizz says Monty, Connor, Walker, Zamir, Nico, sit 2. I'm probably going to sit off of that question, which is a very, 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 very tough one. I'm probably going to say sit Walker and Connor and start Nico, Zamir, and Monty. But starting Nico's risky. I just think there's a lot of upside there. Kendall won my league. Smitty, 9-team PPR, 13-1, back-to-back work league championships. Attaboy. Drafted last, and I think I was kind of a blessing. So many injuries this year. Had Fields, Bijan, Swift, Tyreek, Olave, Ingram, Puka. You did great. That Puka saved your season. Nice job, Kendall. And yeah, injuries were crazy this year, bro. Congrats on that. You're an absolute monster. Thank you, Perps, again for that $100 hauler. And we got a $60 hauler from Bueno. Bueno dropping a 50+ wad.
Alert. Alert.
We have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
Unbelievable, Bueno. Bueno says, Superflex League debating between Higgins, Ridley for my flex spot. I'm going Higgins. Not even a debate with T-Law out. I just can't trust Ridley. I don't think you should either, but Trust your gut, though. Got Lamb, Evans, Nico locked in. Great. Tua as my QB1. Flirting with starting Jaren Hall as my QB, as either QB1 or my flex. I guess over Higgins, it depends. Like if I would go look at Jaren Hall's, or no, go look at what the Vikings quarterback spot has been scoring all year. Try and just spitball in your mind. You could just see, kind of come up with an average. You see like 17, 20, 22, 23, 18. You could say 20. Okay? Find an average by eyeballing the quarterback, because I don't know your quarterback scoring. If that, and then go back over to Higgins the last couple weeks and give Higgins maybe a 2 or 3 or 4 point downward bump to be safe and see which average is higher. That's what I would do. I know that sounds like a lot of work to you, but it'll take you a minute. 2 minutes to do. That will determine my answer. I can't really give you anything else other than that, and I think that will be the guide to helping you make the right decision here. What is Higgins doing? Give him a 2 or 3, 4 point downward bump just to account for some risk, and then what is the quarterback scoring average been going on, and I would go with that. I would see, because then you'll really know if like a mediocre quarterback situation and with some good in there is going to outscore Higgins in your scoring format. Great questions, though. Higgins is my lean, unless that scoring dictates that. Psych Majors rule. Thank you, Bueno. Appreciate you. Thank you for that $60 hauler. You're an absolute monster. Ethereum says half PPR, Pollard, Chase, Hopkins, Flowers. Phone line, hang tight. I'm almost there. Half PPR, flex, Pollard, Chase, Hopkins. Chase is probably out, but if he played, I'd put Chase in. I'm going to say give me Pollard. And I don't say that a lot with some of these questions, but in that situation, I like Pollard. I think he's pretty solid here. Tight end whisper, need help, Kraft, Chiggy, Okonkwo, or Kraft again. I guess Kraft is safer. Chigga Okonkwo has been playing well, but this is a volatile game. I don't really know what to expect. I hate that he's doing well now and didn't do anything all year. Just don't know how to trust him. But I'd say Kraft has been pretty steady. I'll go Kraft. I don't know if there's any other options, but that's what I would say. Smitty, anointed, the tight end whisperer, need... Oh, that's the same question. Thank you. Appreciate you. Last one's from Omar. $10 hauler. You get a moonshot, my guy. Now I'm caught up on supers. I'm coming for the phone line next. Here's the last one. This question is from Omar. It says, Smitty, love the show. The show loves you back, pal. Need 3, these guys between DK, Pollard, Zamir, and Monty. I'm going to go DK. He's playing. It's already been announced. Zamir and Monty. Pollard goes to the bench because of the inconsistency. The fact that he couldn't punch in that touchdown worries me. Even with Dowdle out, I'm worried that they're going to give more work to Malik and Deuce Vaughn, and I just don't know. I like him a lot. I'm not telling a lot of people to sit him, but in these scenarios, I find myself going, Monty scores a touchdown, I can see it. Zamir doing really well, 100 total yards, or maybe a touchdown and 80 yards, I can see it. DK, can't sit him. Very easy call for me. Anything can happen, though. Understand that. Let's go to G Real then Jake. G Real, you are live. G2 Real, you're live. Or Real One. I got your name a couple different ways. What's up, pal?
Yeah. What up, Smitty? How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm down big, man, with Breece Hall and the Browns putting up big numbers on Thursday night games, so I need your help, man.
All right, hit me with it.
All right, so my bench, the lifeline I have is Pickens and Metcalf. My starting group is, of course, Stanford, CMC, Gibbs, Diggs, CD Lamb.
I'll be honest, bro. I am not writing any of this down. Just give me the dilemma.
The dilemma is my flex.
Okay.
Who do I need to put in my flex?
Okay.
Metcalf
okay.
or White?
Or Zamir White? I don't think I could sit Metcalf. Metcalf was questionable, but that news report got upgraded like shortly after to that he's expected to be full go. Monitor it, stay on top of it. You know I'm gonna if he's ruled out, I'm going live, so you're gonna find out. But I can't sit DK Metcalf. I like Zamir White a lot. He's a fantastic flex play. This is a wide receiver, like a low-end wide receiver 1. That's kind of not in the same bucket of player. But it doesn't mean I don't love Zamir. But this is a wide receiver 1.
Gotcha. And I might add this is full PPR league.
Then even more so. Boom. Smitty
Gotcha.
approved.
Thank you, sir.
You've just been Smitty.
You call back if you got another one. Jake from Tampa, you're live.
What's up, Smitty? I got a couple quick questions. First one is I didn't start the Jets defense last night. I have the Chiefs defense or the Jags defense or the Rams defense. Which one should I go with?
Chiefs, Jags, Rams. Chiefs are like a top 5 play this week. They're a consensus a top 5 play. I'm not saying Browning can't go out and like totally maneuver this thing, but there's definitely some volatility there, enough to say this Chief defense is. And this is another reason why I like Kelsey so much this week, and I like Mahomes so much this week, is the defensive setup. Every KC drive is going to potentially be set up properly, and they're going to have a shorter field, I think. You never know. Bengals could upset them. It's certainly possible. It definitely has the makings of one of the most likely upset games, potentially. I think that's not a crazy statement. But at the same time, bro, I just think that, given that I think everyone and their mother sees this as a very solid defensive play across the industry. That data is industry data. Top 4 to 5 defensive start this week. Makes me want to start them on defense, first of all. And second of all, just to cater to all the Kelsey Mahomes questions and such. I just think Kelsey is hard to sit this week. Mahomes is difficult to sit this week. I got Perps who's starting Mahomes over Flacco on my advice, and I felt bad halfway through the game, and then when Flacco fell asleep on the bench, I took a big, deep breath because I'm like, I think Mahomes can still pull this off. So, and when I say he fell asleep on the bench, I'm not just joking. He did. Like, Flacco was worn out. He fell asleep on the bench in the second half. KC, bro, for me.
Yeah, KC.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking Jags, but now that T-Law's out, I don't know how long their offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. My other question is, can you rank these 4 RBs for me? Because I can't make up my mind. It's Zamir White, Pollard, Connor, and Chuba Hubbard.
Pollard, Connor, and Chuba. It's weird because I've answered this question, I feel like, differently. And Perps dropped another, what did he drop, 20? Perps dropped a 20 gifted membership.
To the moon.
To Saturn, not the moon.
To Saturn.
Thank you, Perps. Everybody thank Perps if you got a freaking gifted membership. This man is I don't think Perps knows that Christmas is over. He's handing out gifts like Santa. I would say, like, I've answered this question differently, and I apologize if I have. I'm a waiver. I waver. I'm a human being. I think my 1 is going to be Zamir.
Mm-hmm.
I think my 2. I know I've been asked this question, and I think I've answered it 2 different ways over the last 48 hours. And I haven't recognized when that flip happened to clarify it. I just feel like I have answered. I think it's because I'm wavering on it. I go back and forth. That's the whole point. Pollard, Connor, Pollard. I guess I would say, because I don't think there's any other RBs in question for carries to the degree that I think, even though Dowdle is ruled out, I don't know that Pollard is going to be guaranteed all the work. We're hearing rumors that Deuce Vaughn's going to be more involved, but that could be a 2 carries and a nothing burger. Malik Davis could get more work. The reason why I'm a little bit worried that this isn't going to go the direction it should go, Dowdle's out, Pollard to the moon, right? That's how it should feel. The reason I don't feel that way, and I don't have much evidence other than my gut, is watching Pollard not punch that touchdown in last week. That was extremely disappointing. And the way
that's the season in a nutshell.
The angle he took on that was ridiculous. And I think if you're a coach, you're like, if we're near the goal line, are we going to really give Pollard the football? I think they'll give it to Malik Davis. I think they'll give it to, you know what I mean? So I just don't know. then again, what if those guys aren't set up yet? What if they don't know the playbook? Those are things we don't know. I wish I had inside information on this one, and I don't. I wish I did, because what if somebody said, hey, look, Smitty, these other two running backs aren't versed in this offense, and they've made these changes, and there's no way I'm hearing that it's going to be all Pollard. I wish if I get that information, I promise you I'll make an emergency live stream on it. But I think for right now, given Connor feels like the locked and loaded, volume king, I'm going to go Zamir 1, Connor 2, Pollard 3, but barely. And Chuba's like, I'm disrespecting Chuba like mad right now. I mean, maybe Chuba should be the 3, but for some reason I can't trust him.
The hamstring issue, though.
Yeah, and I just don't trust this offense at all. Like, to be there at the end of the day, I just feel like worried about it. And Chuba Hubbard last week, 16 totes for 2.6 yards per carry the week prior, 3.9 yards per carry the week prior, 3.78 yards per carry. 1 touchdown in the 3 games. A lot of work, though. His last 4 games, 25 carries, 23 carries, 22 carries, and 16 carries. I venture to say that's in the top 5 or 6 in the NFL in carries the last 4 weeks. That's insane. 25, 23, 22, 16. But he has only one 100-yard game to show for it. So I don't know. I'd probably say Jacksonville's an easy matchup. And without T. Law, could Chuba go out and be a savior this week? Good God, man. I'm more confused than when I started. I don't know. I don't know. that matchup is good. That's a good matchup for Chuba. Damn it. No T. Law. Easy matchup on paper defensively for the run. Chuba getting more carries than anybody in the National Football League right now in the last 4 games. Yeah, that hamstring, I guess, is the concern, right? Cleared for Sunday, though. He's cleared. Let's ask the chat here. Is anybody tempted to go Chuba as the... do you get to play 2 of these guys?
No, just 1.
Just 1? Okay, then Zamir. Might as well not even vote. No matter what, I'm still playing Zamir.
So, Zamir White and Rashad White for the win?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I just picked him up, too. I'm playing defense, if nothing else.
Yeah. I just have a feeling Chuba is going to be a monster. Just because we broke it down that way. I just have a weird feeling, bro. Chuba's going to go out, have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I go Zamir, though. I think, in chat, does anybody disagree? Yeah, Pollard's so hard to sit, man. I would not be shocked if, like I said, I'm waiting for insider information. I got a couple Cowboys people I'm reaching out to. I might try and bring one of them on the show or something to see if we can get any Cowboy clarification on this, because what in the hell is going to happen with this running back stable? From a legit Cowboy source, I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to try and set it up. I don't know if I'll have time, though, because we have tonight and tomorrow. But I need to find out. Yeah. I need to find out from him I'm sorry, we just have tonight and early tomorrow. But let me see if I can set something up with him to have like a one-on-one conversation live on here to see if he can give us an idea of how much Deuce or Malik could even get. Even if they wanted to say, you know what, Pollard crapped the bed last week. Let's go ahead and get these other guys involved. I don't know if they even can. I imagine they're all pretty set up nicely to fill in right away, though. It's not hard to be a running back. You don't even need to know the playbook, to be honest. It's like this happened in KC. KC has the toughest playbook in the National Football League, the toughest offense to learn. And Damian Williams didn't know the playbook for 2 years. Mahomes in the huddle will be like, hatchback 25-34 on 3 65/ hatch 12 gigawatt. And then he lean over to Damian Williams and go, you just run right, okay? In the A gap. On 3, go. And Mahomes would snap the ball, literally tell him where to go on every play. So at the end of the day, these guys are going to be fine, I guess, if they need to be called upon. But I want to know, like, what the feeling is. Is there on the ground floor vibe in Dallas from some of these Cowboy people I'm going to reach out to that I know that might give us some insight. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll be on the lookout, somebody. Thank you.
All right, Zamir to the moon. Later. Blue 32. Hatchback 7. Mahomes left. Kermit 47. Jacinto, $9.99 holler.
To the moon.
To the moon. Appreciate you. Need a flex. Got Jacobs out. Didn't draft Jacobs. Have Ferguson. Oh, Jacinto's clarifying. Have Ferguson, Noah Brown, CH pick up today, and Justice Hill pick up one Saturday. Ferguson is up, so I have to know for Saturday. Okay, so out of these options, I might go Noah Brown. CH is banged up. I might go Noah Brown. Chat, can we vote on this one? Noah Brown, Ferguson, or Clyde, who's got an illness and is questionable? I kind of feel like Noah Brown. Mahomes left his receivers in the offseason. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jacinto. Guys, please vote on this one. Please vote on this one. Noah Brown, CEH, or Ferguson. Who you starting in the flex? Help Jacinto out. Smitty, my guy. I lost Keenan Allen. Help Cooks, Pop Douglas, or London. Mahomes, blue 32. I'd probably go with London and roll the dice on this one. I don't trust the other two. All right, let's do speed round. We haven't done speed round in a while. Speed round Q&A. Doing it live. Where's my speed round button when I need it? Here we go.
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
Get ready. Fire off. Short answers only. You write like a 2-sentence question. I ain't answering it. Let's do 5 minutes because 10 is quite long. I want everybody to make sure your answer is short. I will literally not read your question if it's more than like one short sentence, like 2 lines max. And when I say 2 lines, I mean like 2 or 3 names on each line. Let's go with a 5-minute timer instead of a 10. And let's roll right. Let me see if I can get 5 in here. 5-minute timer, go. Let's ride. Time to go. It sounds like Kermit the Frog. Matt, that's how he sounds. That's the whole joke. Okay, here we go. Speed round Q&A. Doing it live. Appreciate you. Let's go. Kamara questionable or Zamir, says Superfish. I'm going to go with Kamara, but I love both of them. You just kind of got to wait. Like, we'll know more. Later. Raiders or Bears on D. Probably the Bears D by a hair, but very close. London or Pickens. We're going to go Pickens. I mean, he's absolutely just, coming off the best game of his life. Like, I don't think we could sit him. Matthew Stafford or CJ Stroud. I'm going to go probably Stafford. I think you got to. Kamara, Zamir White. Okay. Let's see here. Flex, K9, Lockett, JSN, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Probably going to go with K9 there. Fields or Dak. I'm going Dak. Tough decision, though. Diggs or Pickens. I think I'd probably go Diggs in that situation, Joe, but you've got to trust your gut. You have to. You have to. Where's the pull-ups on the new backyard setup? I need to start that, Perps. You're right. I need to set like a goal. I think January 1 with the New Year's resolution will be the great start date. And 4 months I need to do a muscle up where you can go above the bar and do pull-ups like this, like that, which very few people, like 1 out of maybe 10,000, could probably do that. It's really hard. I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it. So we'll give myself a 4-month start. Kyler or Jordan Love. I'm going to go probably Kyler by a hair. Pacheco is probably out, bro. So Walker for sure. Smitty, Ayuk or Adams. I go Ayuk for safety. Reed or Diggs. I probably go Diggs, but you gotta trust your gut on that one, broski. That is not an easy call whatsoever. White or Achane for big bada boom. I go probably Achane, but they're both. And I assume we mean Zamir White, not Rashad White. Rashad White over anybody really, except for like 2 or 3 people. Lamb or St. Brown. Come on. Golf. Really? You have that dilemma? How do you have that dilemma? I guess I lean Lamb by a hair, but Kamara or Swift, I'm going Kamara. Kyler or Browning, I'm going Kyler. Zamir White, Rashid Rice. It's Rashid Rice, not Rashid. Zamir White, Rashid Rice. I'm going to go Zamir White. But I'm going to go Rashid Rice. Rashid Rice. You're mixing me up with the wrong name. Rashid Rice over Zamir White. And you got commas all over the place. Confusing the hell out of me. Zamir Swift, give me Zamir by a hair. Zamir, Kamara, Achane, go Kamara. But I do love Achane near as much. Pick 2, Evans. Start both Achane and Kamara somehow, some way. Pick 2, Evans, Pittman, Nico. Evans and probably, I guess, Nico, not knowing how healthy Pittman is and everything. That kind of worries me a little bit. Ray G gifted 50 exclusive memberships. Ray, you absolute monster, you. Ray doing Ray things. Collins or Monty? Monty, I suppose, is a tad safer. Stroud, I think Nico's got a little more upside, but not as safe. I would probably say if it's PPR, full PPR, I might lean Nico, but that's a ballsy move. Like, I think if you want safety, go with the potential. Look at all the gifted memberships getting handed out tonight. I mean, absolute glory. Just tons of gifted memberships. Perps handing them out like they're candy. And then we got Ray G coming in. Ray G's gifted 2 different times 50 gifted memberships. Perps is gifted 50 on top of more. You guys are absolute straight savages in the chat right now. Drop. What was that question? D-Hop or Zamir? I'm going to go Zamir by a hair. But great question, my guy. Appreciate you. All these gifted memberships going nuts. Singletary, Mixon. I'm going to go Singletary. Mixon for safety. Singletary for high risk, high reward. I think I answered it that way earlier, too. Similar to that. Minshew or Stidham? Minshew. But you never know. Because I laughed, that means Stidham might outscore him. I drafted Achane day 1. And been raving about him since. Chandler hit the bench. Achane to the moon. Let's go, Johnson. Let's not let anybody tear down our Achane vibe, bro. Nobody. Higgins or Adams? Probably Higgins if Chase doesn't play, and I don't think he will. Bullish on Achane. Never seen one man so bullish on Achane. Well, now you have, Ethereum. Now you have. I've never seen so many haters on a player before than Achane. How's that? That sounds very, very, very similar, right? Ridley or Wicks or Burks? I forgot Burks was even in the league, bro. Which means he'll probably be the highest score. I'd say in this one, if Wicks is good to go, and I think he will be, I'd probably go Wicks over Ridley with no T-Law, but like it's hard to sit Ridley in that situation. But Zamir White or Jamar Chase. Chase is not playing. If he somehow, there's a miracle and he plays, I mean, I'd play him over Zamir, but I don't think he will play, bro. So it's pretty easy, I guess. Monty Gibbs for DFS. Okay, some of these might be DFS questions. Okay, Monty Gibbs. Thank you, Golf. That's a good point. To clarify that for me. Gibbs for me in DFS. Let's do it live. Appreciate you. Kyler or Fields. I'd probably go Kyler by a hair. By a tiny bit. Broski. All these gifted memberships just flying in. Unbelievable. Goff. Gibbs, says Matt O. Let's see here. What else we got? Achane, Zamir, Reed, Eckler, pick one. I'm going to probably go Achane. But please understand that this is a risky play. Your safe play probably is Zamir White. Chase is out. Oh, man. Higgins to the moon, says Brianna. Yeah, I mean, Chase is not officially ruled out, but he was not expected to play this week, and he's very questionable for Week 18, and then all of a sudden he practiced, and everybody's like, maybe he will play. There's a chance he tries to get on the field. So, Brianna, he's not out yet, but he's for all intents and purposes expected to miss this week. There's just been new news that he's practicing. It's just, we don't know if that's to see the range of motion he has. He could all of a sudden suit up, so you just got to keep an eye on it. But I will do an emergency live stream if Jamar Chase is expected to play. We will hit the stream, do it live, but just expect the worst. You know what I'm saying? Tua or Carr? I'm going to go Tua personally with Tyreek Hill off the injury report, with Achane off the injury report. I'm going to go with Tua. Carr has had 2 straight games of 3 touchdowns, though, so it's not a laughing matter. But I'd definitely lean Tua myself. Higgins or Achane? I'm going to go Higgins for safety with Chase. If Chase is out, and we do expect him to miss the game, if Chase does play, then I'm going to go Achane. But I wouldn't be afraid to use Achane over starting Higgins anyway, like if Chase is out. It would just be a high risk, high reward move. So you got to kind of pick your poison. You want safety, though. If Chase is out, Higgins is the safer play. Achane's a bigger risk, much bigger swing, though. But Higgins still has some good, huge ceiling value. So that's, not a big deal to just say, let me play it safe with Higgins. You're not risking much, as long as he's the lone starter in terms of the alphas. Curtis Samuel, JSN, or Charbonnet. If Walker is out, I'm going to say... If Walker's out, Charbonnet. If not, then it's probably going to be JSN for me. And that's it. That is the rapid fire segment. To help. I know a lot of people say, "Hey, I didn't super chat. You didn't answer my." Like, I do that as much as I can. I'll do a lot of it in the off season, just so people understand that I'm here at your beck and call. I just don't have. I only have so much time and ability to answer everybody's questions, but there you go. Ray G gifted another 20 memberships. Ray G and Perps have been going nuts, just tag teaming the gifted memberships tonight and dropping just wads all over on top of it. Perps has been dropping $100 hauler, trying to get people to like the stream, doing his part. We have 230 people in here and only 125 people have wiped their feet. Please hit the thumb up button. Appreciate Perps, appreciate Ray G, appreciate, who is it that dropped that 60 wad a minute ago? Bueno dropped a 60 wad. Thank you, all three of you. Perps, Ray G, Bueno, everybody doing their work. Appreciate you. And somebody else dropped another massive wad somewhere around here. It was Bueno, Perps, yeah. I forget where it was. But Mr. T, thank you for your super chat. James, thank you for your super chat. Big Dog Pound, appreciate you. Damon, Hedge, appreciate your super chat. Jaime, Dakers, appreciate your super chat. Tyler, Superhero, OKG, Anthony C, True Spoken, appreciate you. OKG again. Thomas with the super chat. Hero again. TP31, OKG again. Kendall, Swizz, Anthony C again. Johnny, TP31, Perps, like I said, with the hundo. Kendall with the super chat. Bueno again with the 60 wad. Ethereum, Joel, Omar, Jacinto, Johnson, Caleb with the two most recent super chats on screen. Let me hit those real quickly. Johnson says, start 3, Kamara, Achane, Zamir, Chandler. Kamara, Achane, and Zamir for me. Chandler I don't trust enough comparatively to those guys, but I do like Chandler, but just not there. $5 hauler. This is the week down. Waddle, start 1, Chuba or Singletary. I give you a lot of reasons why Chuba could be really good this week. He's probably leading the league in carries, I'd imagine, or up in the top 5. But his yards per carry suck. But he's getting volume, and Tennessee feels like a pretty damn... Oh, I'm sorry, that's Singletary's. We're talking about Chuba Hubbard's matchup is... Yeah, I'm sorry, Jacksonville. Jacksonville without T-Law, probably good field position. Carolina's trying to make a little statement, like as if they've got a good team here, and they're kind of pulling it together at the end, and maybe they win this game, and they're like, yeah, we're on the right track. No, you played no T-Law. The team's beat up. No. So, like, this could be a Carolina win, and Chuba could be a big part of it, and he's been cleared. But I'm going to go Singletary. Singletary at home against the Titans, who are also, kind of a mess, and I just think Singletary looks really good. Stroud's back. Very tough call, though. Also benching Njoku for McBride. That wasn't a bad move. Breece kind of already won me the league. Let's go, Caleb. Breece Hall to the moon, pal.
Get Breece.
Super chat is from... Oh, that was from Caleb, right? Was that Caleb? Yeah, that was Caleb. And then Johnson, thank you for your super chat. And Perps dropping a $10 hauler. Smitty, you missed mine, Mahomes or Flacco. I missed your super chat, bro. I'm so sorry. I don't know how I missed.
To the moon.
Let me see where Perps' super chat was. Or regardless, you got it right here. Mahomes or Flacco. Oh, this one you mean earlier. This is not... Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the... I'm like Flacco. I fell asleep. I'm old man now. I slept at halftime. I didn't get the joke until right now. Flacco. I feel bad. I don't think I missed on this one yet, Perps. I think I still will be vindicated. I think... Yeah, Flacco made me scared. I told Perps to go Mahomes. He sat Flacco in the 11th hour. We watched Flacco throw for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards in the first half, or like 296. And I'm sitting there going, how am I going to eat my pasta right here? I got pasta. I'm trying to eat it. I don't let these things affect me really, because it's a numbers game. A lot of people I want to help. A lot of people are going to be disappointed because they asked me a 50-50 question. But for some reason, this one bothered me. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm eating my bowl of pasta. And I'm watching Flacco go nuts. And I'm like, what's the second half going to look like? Nothing. Not even 10 yards. Or right around 10 or 13 yards or whatever that was. I think Mahomes could still win me this dilemma, and I'm going Mahomes. I know you know that's how I feel, but that's how I feel for anybody watching. Mahomes could run for 50 yards, not have an INT, and that accounts for one of those touchdowns, meaning he's just got to go out and throw for 302, and it's a tie ball game between Mahomes and Flacco. But I think it was the right move. Flacco was started as QB 20 on the week. Mahomes is top 6. What are you going to do? Mahomes is top 6 on the year, top 5 in most scoring formats. It was the right call. I stand by it. Start Kyle Pitts, Likely, or Kincaid. Give me Likely. Likely's the easy call at this juncture in the season, but anything can happen during the playoffs. We still could see Kincaid rise up and become a monster. A lot of times we're early on some stuff. Gibbs early on it. Breece Hall. We had to wait a little while to see that man turn into the man he's become right now. It's the nature of it. Bijan, sometimes the predictions on this show can hit right away. Sometimes I am a year early, a half a year early. It sucks. It's part of the seeing the vision, having the vision before it actually comes to fruition. It's what we do here. And there's a good and bad to it, but I really, really believe Kincaid's going to come around. It's just one of those waiting games. Remember how Kincaid looked like a nothing burger? Total miss, Smitty, and then in midseason, he was the best tight end in football for about 2-3 games. He was in top 4 at least, and now he's vanished again. But Kincaid had a stretch of being an absolute monster, and I still believe that's in the cards. I don't think we're seeing a player like fade away. It's just, he's a rookie. Buffalo's, changed their game plan, and so a lot of it's up in the air. Knox came back. I don't think he's like a big threat for his future value. Plus, we don't know where Diggs is going to be next season, and so Kincaid might be heavily leaned upon. I think Kincaid could reemerge during the NFL playoffs and start showing a little spice. Tua, feel like I got to bench him. Who should I start? Geno, Stidham, or Carr? So we had a couple questions similar to this. Not the sticker. You're gonna go Carr or Tua or Geno. I would start Tua over Carr, but it's a close one. I'm not, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be worried about this question as the kickoff happened. And I'm like, oh God, Tua threw an INT. I just think Miami is on a mission right now. A lot to play for. Miami Mike's a lot to prove. I'm going to go Tua, but you're not crazy to go Geno. You're not crazy to rely on Geno against a pretty beaten up Pittsburgh team in general, but they've also kind of put it together last week. So who knows what it looks like this week. I would go Tua, but that's me. I don't hate going Carr. Carr is a player that's hard to trust. He's at Tampa. There's definitely some scoring that could take place, but he's always getting banged up too. Will he even finish the game? I'm gonna go Tua. But that's me. I just think it's a high octane, well-oiled machine offense, bro. Sometimes the matchup shouldn't influence you too much. Look at Flacco's match. This is why I say matchup shouldn't be that much of an indication as to who you play and who you don't. Did Breece Hall have a great matchup last night? No, he did not. How did Breece Hall do? Pretty damn good. Did Njoku have the best matchup last night? Not really. How did he do? Pretty damn good. Did Joe Flacco have a good matchup last night? No, he did not. How did he do? 300 yards, 3 TDs in 1 half, and a nice little nap. So, for me, I don't think matchups should determine as much as people make them out to, importance-wise, how much they should be a factor. And I don't know if these 50 gives and memberships, again, Ray G, I think these are the older ones. I don't know if these are 2 new ones, but I'm pretty sure those are the older ones. Thank you so much for dropping those, my guy. Thank you, Perps, for the $100 holler. Appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. All right, a couple more phone calls, and then we might kind of pack it in earlier tonight than normal. Hour and a half show is still a long show, but dial into the show, dial it up. We'll take 2 or 3 calls, and then we're out of here. Probably for the night. I might come back tonight and do some drafts from Week 17 gauntlets. Week 17 best ball battle royales on Underdog Fantasy. So if anybody wants to draft with me tonight, hit the link that's pinned in the live chat. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100 by using that link that's pinned in the live chat. It's in the description of the video. And using code Smitty is what that link does. It inserts code Smitty for you. But if you were to download the app on your own and go a little rogue, all you got to do is when it says, how did you hear about us? You type in SMITTY. And you get double your first deposit up to $100. And you get to draft with your boy tonight, potentially. Sir Smack says, this man going wild. Who's going wild, bro? Who's going wild, Mac? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Kyle, appreciate you. You're live, Kyle? Hello.
Hello. Hey, sorry, I'm trying to mute you in the background.
Can you mute me? Hello. What's up?
Hey, so, I realized I got another league that I'm in a championship in, and I have Ingram and Ridley in my lineup, and I'm kind of not sure about it. It sucks that I also have Jamar Chase, so that's kind of another hole.
What's the dilemma, bro? Just hit me with the dilemma. Chase is probably not playing.
I have Wicks. I'm already starting Demarcus Robinson instead of Jamar Chase, but I have Ridley and Ingram that I'm looking at, and I can slide in Wicks, or Waller is on the wire, and so is
Waller's on the wire.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
He hasn't done anything, but there was a lot of hype.
And
he's been hurt. None of the options are great. So
yeah. I don't know. Waller's not bad, but is it better than Wicks? Probably not.
All right, Ingram.
Who?
Ingram.
Evan Ingram?
Tight end. We're looking at tight ends. Yeah.
He's available?
T-Law's out.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I have Ingram and I have Ridley, and T-Law's out, so I'm looking for replacements, and I'm just shooting out names and seeing if anything sticks.
Okay, so this is 2 different questions or what? Because you're saying Wicks, you're going over your wide receiver spot. I thought.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe I wasn't clear. So T-Law's out, and I have Ridley and I have Ingram in my championship lineup.
Okay.
Where our confidence in those players are probably pretty low.
Okay, so let's.
I'm shooting out names.
Yeah, let's start over. Okay, so we're trying to replace. Let's go one at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we got Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
And your potential replacement is Wicks, right now.
Is Wicks.
What is
correct.
is there any other option whatsoever?
If Jamar Chase plays.
No, but that's an obvious. But who else do you have? Who else is on the waiver wire? Anybody else?
Osborne.
That's not horrible.
Yeah.
Guys, are we going Ridley, Osborne, and if you could mute yourself real quick, Jimmy44, you always drive with the most noise we've ever heard before. It's always like a space shuttle, but we appreciate you. Don't change for anybody, Jimmy, but just mute yourself. Okay, guys, are we going Osborne, Wicks, or Ridley? I kind of feel like, man, what's Wicks's? Wicks is, I think, good to go. He's still questionable.
Right
they haven't
very
upgraded.
Limited.
Yeah, so you must can't rely on that yet. His last game was what was it? 29 yards and a touchdown, 97 yards, 20, 43, 91. He's pretty solid, but oh man. Let's see what everybody says. Okay, we got one Osborne vote. We've got please vote on this, guys. Ridley, Osborne, or Wicks? Ridley vote, Osborne vote. Waller over Wicks or Osborne. Waller's not in this question. He's going to be in this question. Noodle says non-muters. People that don't mute sound like they're going to the moon. Some of them are. Osborne or Ridley. Osborne. You know, I think you know what I'm going to say, bro. We've crapped a lot on Ridley this show. Like I'm just going to say, but he's not the one that's out. You know, we can't take too much away from him and just say like, oh well, T-Law's out. He's garbage. He's injured. Like he's not injured. His quarterback's injured. That sucks. But like, there's only so much downgrading we can do. Because Wicks is banged up and we don't have like if we were given some sort of certainty, I think today I could maybe swing toward Wicks. But right now I'm just gonna say leave Ridley in. He's still gonna get targets. Okay. Ingram, okay. I'm still gonna say the same thing about Ingram. I hate that you're playing with injured QBs, but that's putting a lot on Jacksonville though. It's putting a lot on Jacksonville though. Damn it.
That's what I'm saying. And if Beathard, you know,
Beathard
doesn't play
Beathard,
whatever his name is, Beathard or whatever. I can't even say his name. That's how irrelevant he is. I just don't like doubling down on that guy.
Beat a ball, as Ron said last night. Beat a ball.
Beat a ball, yeah.
It is a weird name. I mean, you technically pronounced it, you know, the way that I think a lot of people would is spelled that way. Yeah, you pronounced it how it was spelled. There's nothing you did anything wrong. It's
I almost do it purposely because that's the way it's spelled. So you know that's what I say.
Yeah. I mean he's a special one.
The only other thing that I'll poke you with is Murray, how confident are you that he plays?
Pause. Yeah, I think we'll just drop the eggplant emoji for Beathard instead of trying to pronounce his name. I don't know that I could. I feel confident with any of these options. I mean, Osborne's. You could go Osborne and Ingram and try and go that route. It is a lot to count on these two, but I mean, these are the two best options at a glance. Is Ridley and Ingram, honestly.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I wish I could give you better advice than that, but you just don't have.
You know, Murray doesn't go till Sunday. We were talking about Goff and Murray earlier. Goff plays Saturday and Murray plays Sunday. How confident are we that he's playing? What's the word there?
We have no.
If I forego starting Goff and then Murray doesn't play, I'm confident.
Yeah, we did a news report on this earlier. Sorry, I'm trying to find my marker cap. We did this beforehand when we began the show. We have no update. Kyler's questionable with an illness. That's all we got. We don't have any sort of update or information. So you're just gonna have to hang.
I think he played in practice on today, didn't he?
He's probably gonna go.
To figure out his practice today.
He's probably gonna go, but we just can't say that for certain.
I worry about them sitting him because, like, what's the point? Like, they're 3 and whatever, you know.
All right. Hey, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Later. All right, Jimmy 44. Turn that space shuttle sound back on and let's help you, pal.
Schmitty.
What's up? How's space?
Schmitty, I got a bone to pick with you, Butter.
Butter?
Brother.
Butter? You call me Butter? You got a bone to pick with you, Butter?
Schmitty.
That's not a way to start an argument. It's not a way to start an argument. Okay, why did I rip on you?
Ripped on me,
for what?
You ripped on me for loving Rashad White. And you said there's no way he should be a third-round pick.
Well, I mean, you know I love Rashad White. Okay, no, but we had this conversation. I'm remembering this conversation, and you're trying to paint this in a very, very weird light. We had the conversation. Yeah, I remember this now because you were ridiculous about it, bro. I love Rashad White. Don't come in here and act like I don't love Rashad White. I invented Rashad White. Okay, he was a Moon Man during the first set of Moon Man guys. He absolutely exploded. Anybody that listened to that advice cleaned up. You came in and said he should have had a higher draft slot than his ADP. Don't act like I said Rashad White didn't deserve to be ranked high, didn't deserve to be good. You came in and had a ridiculous argument trying to go against ADP. And all I told you was he doesn't belong where you think he's getting drafted. So you should be taking advantage of his late ADP. I remember this very clearly now. And you're still off your rocker. You're still off your rocker because you're trying to argue that I didn't like Rashad White. It's just you came. We did a mock draft or something, and you came in and go Rashad White when his ADP was so far downstream. We're like, Jimmy, you're gonna lose, bro. You're gonna lose out on the advantage you get of getting Rashad White late. And you're like, I don't care. I'm taking him in the second. You didn't prove anything to anybody if you drafted this man 2 rounds ahead of his ADP. You just lost out on a bunch of ability to absolutely explode. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to take from that.
You're right. You are not speaking non-facts right now. You are speaking facts. However, I did say that he deserves to be a minimum 3rd rounder, and you were heavily against that. And you said, no, he doesn't. And I even put him against some other players, and you ripped on me for that. That part is also true.
Because, well, maybe I told. Okay, I will take an L here, and say that I admit that I did not think Baker was going to do what Baker's been doing. So there was some hesitancy that we're going to get what we wanted. But I will say this. Rashad White's absolutely outplayed everyone's expectation, but maybe yours. Like you literally, but you thought he was a 2nd rounder. He wasn't. Like you got to be willing to understand where someone's value is. I will say that what's his yard per carry at? 3.73. Like there is some struggles going on that I thought would happen. He's just so involved in the passing game, which is absolutely phenomenal. And that's where I admit my wrong. Is I didn't think there was going to be any sort of PPR support for him. The guy has freaking 56. His yards per carry is 3.61. 3.61 yards per carry. That is horse trash. And it's not his fault, though. It's not his fault at all. He's got 242 attempts, which is unbelievably awesome. But his PPR support is to the moon. 56 receptions, 62 targets. Absolutely 100%. I'll give you the W on believing that the offense would support it enough to justify what your expectation level was, but you completely ignored ADP in that conversation, and that's what we argued about. The 90% of it was about you saying, you got to put Rashad White there, Smitty, in the mock draft. No, we don't, because you can steal him away in the later draft. And I even said to you, if Rashad White does as well as you think, you will absolutely smash every 1 to pieces. Smash every 1 to pieces, bro. If you get what you expect out of Rashad White in rounds 4 or 5, wherever his ADP was, I want to say his ADP was like in round 5. And you're like, he's in the 2nd round, Smitty. How can you not put him in? And we're like, Jimmy, you're not listening to me.
3rd was a steal.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, but you weren't listening. You weren't listening.
Had him 60-something, and ESPN had him in the 30s. And then we had that whole argument. I thought that's a good position by him to be in the 30s, and then that's where we had an argument. I will respect you, Smitty.
Yeah,
you're one of the few analysts that will ever admit. Look, no analyst. Otherwise, if every analyst is 100% or quote unquote expert is 100%, there would be millionaires because they would just bet every week, right? You're the only one that would actually take accountability and say, you know what, I was wrong about this. But you're right 80% of the time. So that's phenomenal. So I will give you credit, Smitty.
Thanks, pal.
But Smitty, all right. Now that we're off this whole Rashad White thing.
Yeah, please don't go back.
Yeah, I won't go back.
Because you're gonna argue. I can already tell you're gonna argue it in the wrong way again. Because you're like, I told.
I'm not Smitty. I'm not Smitty.
Hit me with it.
I got a question for you. If Kyler Murray's out, I'm sorry, I just tuned in. If Kyler Murray's out, any QB streamers as well as defensive teams that you would pick to stream this week? Because I made it to the championship.
You're gonna have to give me a list, brother. You're gonna have to give me a list, though.
Okay. I'll come back with a list then. Okay.
Do you have anybody? Like anybody available? Can you look at anybody?
Yeah. So there's not many in this league. Quarterback, we got Hall, from, man, it's tough. We got Hall. We got like Aiden O'Connell. There's not much, Smitty. I don't know.
I'd start Kyler over those. Like, Hall's not crazy.
Jacoby Brissett, I kind of like him.
No, Brissett, the Briskinator, bro, this week against the Niners?
That's if Kyler's out. They're my only options.
I just threw up on my mouth, bro.
Kyler's out.
Briskinator versus the Niners and a revenge a revenge game?
He led Jacoby Brissett led the Cleveland Browns. He was pretty good with them when they actually played him.
Bro, I would almost bet my pinky finger right now that the Briskinator is going to get destroyed by the Niners defense in revenge tour mode. I don't know. I hate to lose the pinky, but it depends on what I would gain.
There's Tyrod Taylor. I mean, if Kyler Murray's out, that's the only options I have in the championship. It sucks. I kind of like Jaron Hall. I don't know. Because it's playing, I don't know, man.
Well, I don't mind that. I don't mind that one. I don't mind that one. But that's that.
Yeah.
But I would go Kyler.
No, I have Kyler. I'm saying if he was out.
Yeah,
You
if he
go
was out,
Jaron
Jaron Hall.
Hall?
If he's out, I'd go Jaron Hall. From the options you gave me.
Okay, and then one last one, Smitty. Then I appreciate everything. Would you go Rams or Jaguars defense, or would you go with the Bears versus Atlanta?
Rams or Jaguars defense? I'd go Rams. Jaguars, Bears probably over all of them. Bears. All right, Jimmy, got to go, bro.
Bears? Okay.
Yeah, later.
Yep.
Guy wears me out. I remember last time. Now that he reminded me of the argument. Good God. I remember he would not let it go. He just thought I was saying Rashad White was bad. And it never once was coming out of my mouth. Rashad White, I've never once said Rashad White's not an elite talent. Any place you see me talking bad about Rashad White's situation is going to revolve around the quarterback situation. And I 100% admit, Rashad White blew away my expectations for his situation. But if anybody comes in here and says, I don't like Rashad White or haven't liked Rashad White before, any other person you can find, first analyst to talk about Rashad White being a moon man his rookie year and being an absolute monster, nobody predicted bigger things out of this kid from the onset. But I admit, I came into the offseason and said, look, I don't know that we can expect him to do what we had wanted him to do and become with this quarterback situation, which has been absolutely a dream come true for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer situation. And again, you look at Rashad White's yards per carry, 3.6 yards per carry. That is awful. So it had to come from the pass. I didn't know that the pass would support it to protect a third or fourth round ADP. So 56 receptions, 507, 3 touchdowns, 6 rushing, 9 total scores. He's really had an amazing freaking season. Absolutely glorious. Absolutely love the man. We got 2 or 3 super chats coming in. Perps with a $4.99 hauler. The big mitten or the mitten 2 tonight. Yeah, one of those. We'll definitely do one of those. I can't wait to do the mittens. Mittens are fantastic. Perps says, appreciate everything except for Smitty. Let's see. Appreciate everything except Smitty being wrong on White. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you. And then that $20 hauler. Always spitting facts. Not always spitting facts, but Perps, you're always spitting supers, and I appreciate you, bro. Perps.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps dropping wads all over the place. Perps, appreciate you. Appreciate every single one of you dropping supers tonight. We are probably out of here, I think, at this point. Thank you, everybody that called into the phone line. You guys are absolutely amazing. Denny did call in the other night, guys. Denny did call, and he says he was calling. He says he has stories. He tells stories after stories. I don't know which one's true, but Denny said that he couldn't find the right phone number. I don't know. He said he was calling the wrong number. I highly doubt it. I think he's probably wrong. I think he's probably just making that story up. I think Denny just disappeared on us like he did when he was in Vegas. Anyway. Live is Sebastian. What's up, pal?
Is it crazy to think that Russell Wilson won't be released because of his cap hit?
No,
that.
It's not crazy, but his cap hit is massive. But they certainly, like, you know what happens with these situations where it's like so-and-so is going to get released, and then you hear that and everybody starts talking about it, and then the narrative changes real quick, and they go that they might try and trade him. So they might try and trade him to get somebody to take on some of the dead cap hit, and they're not going to find any bites, bro. No one's going to buy him at that contract when they know he's going to be released. And I shouldn't say no one. You never know. It just takes one dancing partner. But in general, you've got to think that you're looking at a potential. Everybody's going to say, is he even worth the contract and the draft capital? Hell no. I'd rather take my chances that another team outbids me and gets Russell Wilson through free agency, and let's all hold hands and lock arms together and say nobody wants him, cut him. Because that's what's going to happen.
I think it's ridiculous. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to get cut. He's going to get cut. He's going to get cut." But it's like it doesn't make any sense. They're not going to get anything from him, and like they're going to take a huge cap hit. When like they can even bring in a rookie, they can trade up whatever, burn it all down, start over. They can even like almost similar to like a. He's not Alex Smith, but say like they draft someone like a Mahomes type, like I don't know, 10th overall, and just have him sit a year behind Russ.
Well, here's the problem though, Sebastian, is they have to get rid of him. They've already announced that they're moving on from him. Like they already kind of had a press conference about this. They can't have him. They cannot have him on the bench getting paid that amount of money. They can't. And while everybody needs to understand that the move to bench him was out of the necessity of if he was to get hurt. If you could mute yourself real quick, Pete. If Russell was to get hurt, Russell Wilson would get $37 million guaranteed to him, handed to him if he got injured and was still injured by the March deadline. So So now that they bench him, that won't be on the table. So now they've got to decide, can they trade him? That $37 million is no longer in the cards. He's still guaranteed X number of dollars. If they cut him or trade him, there's a dead cap hit. Will a team take on a dead cap and his contract and give up draft capital for Russell Wilson? Answer is no. So I know it seems ridiculous to you that they would cut him and everybody's saying that, but there's really no other feasible alternative. They may attempt to trade him by saying, hey, he's available. Anybody want it? Cricket sounds everywhere, because everyone's going to say, I don't want him for that cost. That's not worth it. If he's free and we could bring him in and pay him a low amount of money and not give up draft capital, but have to compete with other teams, we'd rather take that chance than pay draft capital to trade for him, dead cap money to even get a deal done, because that probably would be requested, unless they just say no dead cap money, but we'll give you a draft pick, and then they say okay. But like, there's no way. I don't think there's a reasonable. There's no reason why a team would trade for Russell Wilson on that contract, bro. It's very, very unlikely. So he's gonna get cut. And you got to think about it this way: when you cut a player, thank you, Perps, appreciate you dropping that. He was speaking to Jimmy on that. He says, when you cut a player, there's a deadline in the offseason. I want to say it's March something. I forget the exact date. But
for the new year, right?
So, yeah, so March, that if you cut a player before that date, you pay all the dead cap in that season. So this will be the 2024 offseason. So you pay all that dead cap, you get it out of the way, you're in build mode, okay? Now, if you're a team that wants to potentially build for the future, you're ready to win now, you can cut the player after that date, and you can divide the dead cap into two different seasons. That way it's easier to make your maneuvers, and the salary cap goes up each year, so you have more ability to eat this in the future years than to do it all up front. But if you're in rebuild mode, which I believe they might be looking at it from that context, I think Sean Payton believes he's going to have a couple years, not one more. Although if he has a horrible 1 year, he could be gone. But he probably has a couple years, so he's going to say, let's take the hit. Let's build. Let's get some momentum. Let's look like the Houston Texans coming out of this year for next year. Let's look like that walking into the 2025 season. So 2025, let's take the hit here, have all this money freed up, and let's come smash in 2025 with our new quarterback, a season under his belt, et cetera, et cetera. But this is what the offseason is for. I can't wait for it. This makes me smile more than anything. I absolutely love the offseason. And just get ready for it, because it's coming.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
All right, later, Sebastian. Appreciate you. Good topic. All right, Pete, you're live. You're the final caller. What can I do for you, Pete? Hit me with it, and then we're out of here.
Okay, Smitty, I got a QB question for you. I've got Stroud coming off the concussion, Stafford, or Fields.
Let's see what the chat thinks on this one. I think they're gonna all vote, including me, to go Stafford. I just think if you could mute real quick, we got a lot of background noise. I know you got. Don't worry about it. I know you got a family. You're trying to fit this in, and we appreciate that. Just mute real quick. I think Stafford is the player you want to roll with. It's a matchup that's fantastic at the Giants anyway, and the Rams have a ton to play for right now, so there should be a lot of scoring in this game. I could see Stafford having at least a 2 or 3 touchdown game. I don't think these other options are horrible at all. Stroud's fantastic, but he's coming off an injury. You don't fully know what's going on. He is down Tank Dell. I still like him a lot. He's a crafty play this week. Fields, he's got a banged-up pass-catching room, between Kmet and DJ Moore. He doesn't have his full arsenal, and I feel like he's maybe set up to have a bad game and be forced to maybe run, which would be good. But could he get hurt? Is he going to fully be unlocked? I just think this is a safe play, and I think the majority of the chat is going to vote for Stafford, but we'll have to see. Stafford against the Giants is my lean. Stafford, majority of people are saying Stafford, and I agree with them, so I think you lock that in and feel pretty comfortable with that.
Alrighty, I got Puka too for the stack.
Yeah, hell, bro. I mean, let it ride. Rams to the moon this week, all right, bro?
All right, appreciate it.
All right, man. Call anytime, Pete. Later. Okay, that does it for the phone calls. We got Perps, I think, dropping the 20 gifted memberships on the way out the door. Perps has been a monster today. Ray G's dropped 250 gifted memberships today. We had Joe dropping a big wad. We got this one here, last super chat from Slide coming in here. Pick 2, full PPR, Achane, Javonte, Zamir, and Zeke. Look, Zeke is solid in this context, but I'm going Achane and Zamir, and I don't really blink. But if anybody disagrees, drop it. I'll see you all later tonight. Don't forget Underdog Fantasy. We'll be drafting tonight on Underdog. That link is in the live chat pinned. The link's in the description of every video in case you're watching a replay. That link, Underdog Fantasy link, inserts code Smitty for you, so you don't have to do the work. But if you do download the app and you go rogue and you don't use the link, it'll ask you how you heard from, who you heard about it from, and you put in Smitty, and they'll double your first deposit up to $100. We'll be drafting tonight. We might be doing some playoff drafts and a week 17 on the channel. See you all tonight. Thank you, Perps. Thank you, Ray G. Thank you, everybody that dropped super chats. You super chat monsters. You, Mr. T, James, Big Dog, Pound, Damon, Hedge, Jaime, Dakers, Tyler, Hero, OKG, Anthony C, Truth, Spoken, OKG, Thomas, Hero, TP, appreciate you, TP31, OKG, Kendall, Swizz, Anthony C again, Johnny Cause, appreciate you, TP3 again, Perps again, Perps, appreciate your 20s, appreciate everything, appreciate your 100, you're the man, the myth, the legend, Kendall, Miggy Bueno, appreciate you with the $60 wad, Ethereum, Joel, Omar, Jacinto, Johnson, Caleb, Perps again, Sean, Nick, Perps, and Sidey, appreciate you all for dropping super chats. You guys all absolutely rock. See you all tonight. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, link in the description, link pinned in the live chat. Smitty's the code. Get it downloaded. Be ready so that you don't miss out on the drafts tonight. Hit the link. Do it live, Smitty. Let's go. Underdog Fantasy. I'm out. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
No.
See you all tonight. Deuce. The Bolt with a final super chat says, get Smitty family, get those dubs. Appreciate you, DeBalt. To the moon, pal. To Saturn. DeBalt to the moon. DeBalt? Would DeBalt please report to your shuttle? Your Saturn shuttle is leaving DeBalt.